Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Impact with Elle. Today, I am going to talk about a controversial issue. So I look forward to starting a discussion here. I hope that this will engage folks. Again, I'm really excited to have you join me, and I hope you're enjoying the dialogue. Please jump in. I can't encourage you enough. That's exactly why I'm doing this. You know, we can't meet, we can't freely speak anymore. So I'm hoping that we can at least have a dialogue in a forum such as this. So today I want to talk about COVID and, the response and how people are, kind of handling it. I know I've touched on this in past episodes, but I came across, it wasn't an article, it was a tweet that was very long from a gentleman named John Haywood. And I thought it was very thought-provoking. So I'm going to read it to you, and then, hopefully we can have a discussion on it. Obviously, I think that he raises some very good points, and it's, very self-reflective. So I hope that people will, think about it and look at how they're responding and how they're feeling and see what, it may mean or it may speak to you. So every crisis becomes a religion if it lasts long enough. One factor in that transformation is the beautiful theory phenomenon. The power elite insists its remedies are logical and politically correct, so they must work, even if the actual evidence shows they obviously don't. When beautiful theories crash into hard, cold reality and shatter, faith is the glue used by the elites to put their precious ideas back together. They need militant faith to get the job done. True believers eager to crush doubt and compel obedience by making war on the infidels. Some are swept into the faith because they desperately crave a sense of control over the crisis. They need to believe something can be done, and they'd rather invest their faith in debunked, beautiful theories than have no faith at all. Faith is a coin that demands to be spent. Some crave social approval, and the purveyors of beautiful theories have immense political, economic, and cultural power to make their faith seem fashionable. Virtue signaling is such a plague in modern society because the signals are prepackaged and made very easy to send. Some aren't even hoping they can assert control over a crisis by converting to its religion. They'll settle for just having some meaning, some simplicity, a sense that the righteous will fare better than the unbelievers, that virtue will be rewarded while sin is punished. That's a very common impulse with the Church of COVID, since beautiful theories were so very obviously wrong. There isn't much left of the faith except the visceral, communal satisfaction of hoping unbelievers will be punished for their blasphemies with sickness and death. That sort of thing happens with all of the crisis religions, although not usually as quickly and obviously as with the Church of COVID. Look at the endless stream of movies about how the world became an apocalyptic hellscape because people didn't believe in global warming. The last resort of every crisis religion, the last thing that puts asses in the pews, is that addiction to misery porn, the collective hope that unbelievers will suffer someday, and everyone will admit the true faith was right all along as Judgment Day crashes down upon them. The elite will never have the humility to admit they were wrong, and they'll never give up on politically or financially profitable solutions, even when they obviously don't solve the problem. Founding a crisis religion means they never have to say they're sorry. That applies to some very long-standing crises, like the war on poverty, whose nostrums long ago transformed into fantastically expensive articles of religious faith, even as mountains of data accumulated that proved they were utter failures and often made the problems worse. You can look for some telltale signs of a crisis transforming into a religion. The most obvious one is when the high priests tell you the war you've been drafted into will never end. They become very angry when asked to define success or failure or lay out exit strategies. Watch for the moment when you're told science means not asking questions, defying dogma, or challenging consensus. That is the literal definition of faith, not science. Always keep an eye out for moving goalposts, which are the signature of miracle of crisis religions. Their version of parting the waters or loaves and fishes. Crisis religions work very hard to make their faith unfalsifiable by constantly changing the standards of evidence. Check to see if certain people are accumulating huge amounts of money and power from a crisis. That's a pretty good sign it's turning into a religion. A crisis should be solved as quickly and efficiently as possible. Don't let it fester long enough to become a special interest. Above all, look for the whiff of arrogance to develop around a crisis. Wise religions and effective crisis managers have something in common, a sense of humility. Crisis religions are militant faiths that quickly become arrogant, smug, and totalitarian. Dedicated people who truly want to solve a problem will look for evidence their analysis is wrong, or that their policies aren't working, and make adjustments as quickly as possible, no matter the cost or embarrassment to themselves. This is humility. Crisis religions are arrogant. They reject criticism, insist beautiful theories must be right because they're ideologically pure. They fit snugly into a worldview that must not be challenged. Their plans only fail because their commands were disobeyed or sabotaged. The high priests of a crisis religion see devils everywhere, leering at them from the rubble of every failure. Only sin can explain why their beautiful theories are tarnished. Failure, never their fault, so it must be yours. They find your lack of faith disturbing. And you know what? A lot of people want to see the world that way, including a great many self-described atheists. They hunger for the comfort of faith and the vibrant energy of militancy. They want to be right, and they want the wrong to suffer for their folly. Conservatives think religious faith in the state is terrifying and wonder why so many embrace it. It's because uncertainty is much more frightening. A simple false story is better than a complex true one. And with enough faith, maybe we can force the simple story to be true. So I realize that's probably going to stir the pot, and I hope it does. For me, I did reflect a lot on that, and I do see a lot of truth in his words. And I am very concerned with how we as a community and a country have been looking at COVID, and it's frankly scrambling at anything to justify the means. And unfortunately, the facts are just not holding up to the decisions that have been made and the way that people's lives have been completely ruined in a lot of cases. So I hope you will check the links. There's a lot of interesting facts there. I did a lot of mask and lockdown research, and so these are a big group of charts and a free ebook that I came across. So I encourage everybody to take a look at them. I am open to hearing all thoughts on this, but I hope you are too. So until next time, have a wonderful day.